Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about variation number 14 of Rachmaninoff's Corelli variations. Yesterday we talked about the intermezzo and how we're getting into a new key signature and a brand new key for the piece. Variation 14 and variation 15 are, fun fact, the only two variations not in the key of D minor within this whole piece. These two variations happen to be in a major key. They're in the key of D flat major. We talked about how that's a pretty strange key to have within a set of variations in D minor. It's just a very distant key. D flat major, however, is not a stranger to the music of Rachmaninoff. If you were with me in the breakdown of the Chopin variations by Rachmaninoff, variation 21 is also in the key of D flat major. And I discussed how Rachmaninoff's famous melodies, many of the long, beautiful melodies, are in this key. So for instance, you have the famous 18th variation of the Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini. Right, that's in the key of D flat major. It's literally the most famous thing he ever wrote. Let's see, what else? The third piano concerto, the whole second movement is in the key of D flat. That theme, it's all in the key of D flat major. And it just is a key that he is known for using for these long, beautiful, gorgeous melodies. So is it strange that he's using that key in variations in D minor? Yes and no. I mean, it's a weird key for D minor. It's very far away. We have 5 flats versus 1 flat. It's strange. But it's Rachmaninoff, and he just wanted to get to that key for this beautiful, beautiful melodies that he's about to write in this variation and also in the next variation. So let's talk about variation 14. This is basically, I would say, not really a halfway point, but it's a middle point for sure. And Rachmaninoff is going to reintroduce the theme that we were given at the very beginning of the piece. Right? We're just going to reintroduce it, this time in the key of D flat, which we know, but also in a major mode, not in the minor mode. If I just play the first 3 or 4 measures in a major key, we would expect something like this. Just very simple tonic and dominant harmonies, the same few 2 or 3 melodic notes, but in a major key. Rachmaninoff is going to use that exact same melody, but the way he harmonizes it is going to be drastically different. When we were talking about the theme at the very beginning of the piece, we always talked about 4 chords: D minor, A major. That's your tonic and your dominant. We also talked about C major and F major. That's the tonic and dominant of the mediant key, the third above. Will Rachmaninoff be doing that here? Not exactly. Let me play just the first 4 measures for you, and you'll get a sense of the strange harmonic uses that he's using. First, if you look at my left hand, and if you know anything about the common practice period of music and their voice leading tendencies, you know that parallel fifths is a no-go. But look at my left hand. That is bizarre. We're in the 20th century, so we are very familiar with breaking these rules set in the 17th and 18th century, but that is just a very strange choice, and it makes for kind of this empty and hollow feeling. It works, but it's just peculiar. Now, Rachmaninoff does something really ingenious in the next 4 measures. Listen to these harmonies. pretty advanced writing harmonically. We would expect to end on a normal A flat major chord to get us back into D flat, but the harmonies he uses here are bizarre. And I really brought out my right hand thumb there just to show that chromatic line. And it's because of the chromaticism that he's using that we land in such strange harmonic regions. The best part of this whole variation lies in the last 4 measures. You're going to see that we indeed conclude in the key of D flat major, but how we get there is really, really interesting. So the 4th to last measure, you're going to see a bunch of sharps, and it's going to outline this harmony. This is a D major harmony with a 7th on it. So going from D flat to D major, big deal harmonically. And listen to how he resolves it. Now, if you're not a theory geek like I am, that may not seem like it's a big deal. But notice, the 2nd to last measure, right on the downbeat, we resolve from this E flat minor chord to what? D minor. He just can't help himself. He has to place a D minor resolution within this variation in D flat major, within a piece, all in D minor. So it's just a really wonderful callback between the relationship between D minor and D flat major. And just is very bizarre writing, going from D minor back into the standard harmonies of D flat major. So really just be on the lookout for those last 4 measures and how harmonically adventurous Rachmaninoff is. Again, variation 14 is just pretty much a restatement of the theme, nothing fancy going on except for harmonic exploration. So let me go ahead and play the whole thing for you, and you'll get a better idea of what I mean by all of these things. This variation moves very neatly into the next variation because they share the same key signature. So I'll just end it there. Variation 14 is beautiful. It's very reflective and kind of somber in tone, but very regal at the same time. It's fantastic writing. So come back tomorrow. We'll talk about variation number 15, which is in the exact same key, and is probably the most lyrical moment of the whole piece. A piece that doesn't have tons of long melodies that Rachmaninoff is known for. So I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.